Hi, I'm Ken from Shiitake. This time, we will explain how to grow shiitake mushrooms, which is the most fun time of log-grown shiitake mushroom cultivation. The title is 5 Easy Steps to Grow Shiitake Mushrooms. It's really simple. In short, you just water the log and just wait. However, there are lots of techniques to grow more and to make shiitake mushrooms bigger. So it's worth knowing. If you don't know it, you really lose. As usual, we'll divide in multiple videos and at the end we'll upload the omniverse, so it is okay to watch only the omniverse. For those who say, I don't know what you're saying, there are press videos in the description that appears when you press the title, so please take a look at them first. Also, since we are using our own cultivation method as an example, I think that there is something like, oh, that's not possible for me. But we'll be happy if you could incorporate it as a new sense of value. We'll explain on the assumption that your mushroom cultivation history is within a few years or beginner. As we say every time, it's our personal opinions and not general theories, so please make your own judgment. Let's go! 5 easy steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. The first step is raising shiitake logs. The bottom line is that the log will move from the second incubation to a place for fruiting shiitake mushrooms in the fall. If you compare this to human children, it's like waking up the children sleeping in the bed. You say, "Good morning!" and grab their hands and forcibly pull them to a washroom. It's a bit forcible and pitiful, but we think this is just right for shiitake logs. By doing this, you can create an environment that increases the fruiting amount. Well, it's too heavy to move the logs again, isn't it? We don't actually do this either because it's annoying. In our case, every process is done in our small warehouse. We mean no need to move the logs to other places. So we start to grow shiitake mushrooms from preliminary watering that continues to the next section. 5 easy steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. The second step is preliminary watering. For some people, this can be the first step like we do. This is sprinkling water to the logs with a watering hose or by hand. The trick is to sprinkle water on the logs about 3 days before soaking in the warm season and about 7 days before in the cold season. Let's play trivia. What is this preliminary watering for? 1. Preventing dryness. 2. Making beds. 3. Relieving stress. The correct answer is 2. Making beds. If you choose 3, please take a rest. After waking up and washing your face in the morning, you'll be refreshed like, yes, I'm having a good start, right? Think of it as something similar to that. Pressing the motivation button for shiitake mushroom. Just do this in advance and it'll come out stably. As a reminder, it only needs to get wet. 5 minutes watering or less is enough. Also note that dry logs are a little hard to get wet. Therefore, if you just sprinkle from above, the lower side will not get wet. Do not forget you need to water the lower side as well. 5 easy steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. The third step is soaking logs in the water. The quickest way to grow shiitake mushroom is to submerge the logs in water. The amount of shiitake mushrooms increases due to the water itself, the temperature of the water, and the impact of carrying them. In addition to soaking, there is also other way, watering. But watering is not often used because it requires a large amount of water. And it takes a long time. Of course, there are some advantages, but we'll explain it at another time. Basically, many people soak them to a concrete soaking tank. We use a stainless steel one. It doesn't matter if the logs are soaked in water, whether it's a pond or a wide container. Then you can do it from just one log. There are various methods of soaking, but in general, the logs are lined up sideways and completely submerged. It grows stably and is easy to soak in water. We line the logs sideways on the iron frame and fasten the horizontal bars with screws to prevent the logs from floating. Then soak it in water with a forklift and hold it. If we soak more than 2 frames, tie them up with a string so that they don't float. Many other shiitake farmers hold the entire frame with wooden bars. The buoyancy makes the soak troublesome. The most efficient way of watering is to soak the logs vertically But it is hard to do that because of floating, so the horizontal is the popular way. If it is really troublesome, just float them in water, turn it over later. It's not enough, but the logs absorb some water to fruit shiitake mushrooms. The guideline for the soaking time depends on the conditions, but in our example, the first soak is 10 to 30 minutes. The second and third soaks are about 1 to 2 hours. The fourth to 5 soaks are 4 to 8 hours. And the sixth time or from then on, soak them for 12 to 24 hours. Basically, as logs get soaked many times, the time of soak has to be longer. Otherwise, it'll be hard for shiitake mushrooms to grow. 5 easy steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. The fourth step is fruiting shiitake mushrooms. Everyone takes time of cultivation shiitake mushrooms for more than half a year for this moment. So you must be impressed. Sorry, I got a little excited. After the soak, we'll pile up the logs in girdle stacking so that the shiitake mushrooms can be easily picked. After that, if the average temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, it takes about 3 days. And if it is 5 degrees Celsius, it takes about 10 days to be fruiting shiitake buds. The small bud push up the plaques, wax seal, and bark of the logs and come out. It's so cute. From then, it takes about 5 more days at 20 degrees Celsius and 15 more days at 5 degrees Celsius to become the size that can be picked. As a guideline for picking, generally, if you can see the gills on the bark of the cap, it is ready to be picked at any size. The reason is that it is well shaped and looks good, and it holds up well. So if you think, I just want to make it bigger, please just wait the cap open completely. It'll be bigger. However, shiitake mushrooms start to scatter spores, flavor, taste, and texture can be getting bad. So we recommend to pick and eat them immediately. As a knack for picking, hold the root of the stem, tilt it to the left or right, and then tilt it in the opposite side to pick it. If you pick it up by hand, the gripped part will turn black over time, right? Some people cut the root with a knife, and I'm sorry that this isn't an advertisement for our product. There's a special tool that we named Shiitake Tori, which means shiitake picker. This reduced the stem turning black. Now you have the knowledge from beginning to the pick. Please enjoy the picking of your own low-grown shiitake mushrooms. 5 steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. The final step is post-picking management. There are quite a few people who could pick shiitake mushrooms and report that I enjoyed picking shiitake mushrooms and it was very fun. Actually, we are very happy to hear that. So we are waiting for more reports. And 98% of people who reports ask us, will this log fruit shiitake mushrooms again? Let me tell the conclusion. Yes, it does. However, there is a condition of if you manage it properly. Basically, it is okay if logs are placed in the shade where there is not much rain and wind. Then living in that state for about 45 days to let the logs rest. And after that, if you do preliminary watering and soaking, shiitake mushrooms may come out from the holes that nothing happened at the first soak, or from the bark. Of course, not as many as the amount of the first flush. And since it is the second time, the impression can be hard, but for us, feel still happy. If you repeat this cycle properly, you can pick some shiitake mushrooms 10 times or more. We guess you're getting interested in it, right? In the next section, we'll explain the tricks and techniques when shiitake mushrooms grow. Alright, as a bonus, we'll explain the tricks and techniques when shiitake mushrooms grow. First of all, what kind of shiitake do you like? Thick stick shiitake mushrooms, decent shiitake mushrooms that can be used as they are, thin and easy to eat shiitake mushrooms. Every shiitake mushroom is used for different dishes. It will not be 100% like what we are going to say, but we will introduce tricks and techniques to make the shiitake. First of all, thick shiitake mushrooms. This requires a low temperature. It is almost impossible to have a thick one in the summer. Take your time in winter and gradually make it bigger over a period of some days. At this time, drying can be a big problem. So we recommend to cover the mushrooms when they are small and moisturize them with a bag when it grows larger. Some people use a ramen cover. This will make a big difference. Also, as an advanced technique, if you increase the amount of preliminary watering and soak the shiitake mushrooms after the buds have come out at about the size of your thumb, the shiitake mushrooms tend to grow abnormally. It'll be a super big and solid shiitake mushrooms. However, since the big one takes all of the nutrition, there's also the disadvantage that mushrooms come out late will be smaller. On the contrary, thin shiitake mushrooms often appear in the late spring or early autumn. Since the cycle is fast, many shiitakes come out and grow faster. This doesn't need to be moisturized individually and can be cultivated normally. If you bake the shiitake in the oven or on a frying pan, the umami juice will splash in your mouth. It's so good! For those who say, I want to grow them all at once in order to post social media rather than taste and appearance, we recommend that you make the first soak longer. More shiitake mushrooms will come out at once than you soak normally. Well, as an compensation, the amount of shiitake come out from the second soak can be terrible. In addition, the feature of shape and color are very different depending on the type of spawn. Please consult with the spawn supplier. This time we explained so simple 5 easy steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. Let's review together. The first step is raising shiitake logs. It was to move the logs from the place to do the second incubation to the place where shiitake fruits. If it's troublesome, you can skip it. The second step is preliminary watering. It is important for making shiitake buds. Do this 3 to 7 days before soaking depending on the temperature. A quick wet is enough. The third step is soaking. Soaking is the most efficient way to supply water. Try to find the best way to suit the number of logs and the environment you have. The fourth step is fruiting shiitake mushrooms. Be careful not to dry buds come out. When you can see the gills on the back of the cap, it's ready to pick and enjoy. Or wait and pick shiitake as your favorite. The final step is post-picking management. You still can get some shiitake at the second flush. After picking, let the logs rest in suitable environment for about 45 days. After that, if you do preliminary watering and soak, you'll see some shiitake mushrooms again. As a bonus, we explained that low temperature to make shiitake mushrooms bigger, medium to high temperatures to make them thinner. If social media is the top priority, you should soak logs longer at the first soak. That's about so simple 5 easy steps to grow shiitake mushrooms. If it was informative, please leave a like. If you have a question like, what should I do in this case? Please type it in the comment section. We'll continue to provide the videos that are useful for mushroom cultivation. If you press the subscribe button, you can keep watching the latest video immediately. So please click now. Thank you for watching your precious time. See you next time.